So I'll start with XRP and this chart here. This chart here is the daily time frame, and it's the bear market all the way down, yeah, and it's following this pattern up here, yeah. So we've had this final top, and we're now in this correction. The question is it a capitulation for a spill down, or like the white one here is we got a 786 correction and then a lift. So you can see that we here and on the way down it's been a capitulation, but this one it did a 786 and then it pumped, yeah. So now the question is right now we are in a correction that has come down as far as nearly the 618, not yet, and potentially I'm looking at this candle here and this candle here are very, very similar, and I reckon that we're getting a back test today, and possibly by the end of the day we get our final drop. We get our final drop potentially to the 786 here, and that would create a triple bottom for a lift. So that's one possibility. That's what I'm watching for. Now there's three basic scenarios that I can see playing out, and I'll show you on this chart. Now this is the daily. The red is the 200 SMA and the green is the 50 SMA on the daily. Okay, so now the bounce off to 50 would give us our triple bottom. Now there's three options. If it breaks through here, breaks through the 50, does a drop, does a back test and fails, we're going for lower lows, we're heading down. Okay, so that's what's happened in the past, yeah. We break this, we back test, it fails, and we go down. We get a bounce off this, I see there's two options here, is we head back up to about a 51, 52, and we create a triple top, and then we come back down for 38 and we go sideways for a month or two before we break on up. Or I'm breaking out of this little yellow channel here would give us our 786 target here, yeah. Or we're in this channel here where you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we head up for a late 60s, early 70s. So 5, 6, and then we break down more, yeah. Now my thought with this is you can see this pattern here, yeah, the lift, the drop, the consolidation, the double top, the consolidation, and the lift. So this is what people are looking at going, okay, this is the lift, the drop, the consolidation, the double top, the consolidation, and the lift. So that's if this is the bottom, this is what we're looking at, okay? And that's fine, that works really well, to be honest. However, if this goes all the way up to 70, late 60s, early 70s, the thing I'm thinking about is that potentially if this goes up to the early 70s, I'm thinking we might be here, then we come down for early 20s, then we're in a consolidation phase, and then we start this cycle. So that's the thing I'm conscious about, is if it goes up there, to me it's starting to look like this is setting itself up for a blow off top, a relief rally for a bigger dump. So in some ways I would prefer that it just does a consolidation and comes back down here, because it's pretty much confirming this pattern, yeah. If it comes up here, I'm thinking it's looking more like it's that. So that's what I'm thinking, yeah. Now, with the FOMC that came out yesterday, is the Fed basically said that it's going to keep on doing what it's doing until it gets down to 2%. And Jerome Powell was pretty adamant about that. So basically, he's saying if he has to crash the market to do it, he'll crash the market. Yeah. So potentially is if this pumps up here, this could be the crashing of the market early next year, because it isn't just coming down and it's going for the hard landing. And this is the hard landing. So this I'm super mindful of that. Yeah. So they're the three basic scenarios I'm looking at. So now you can see the same thing played out here. Yeah, here's the same the blowhorn all the way down. So you can see this channel here is break up, look, break, push up here for one more lift, then drop back into this channel and then do a sideways consolidation in preparation for the breakout of this. And that's when it kicks off, yeah. So that would be one scenario. Again, the higher lift is telling me potentially we're coming down for back down here, yeah, back down into the early 20s, a bigger crash. So that's it. That's what I'm looking at. Is locally, here we go. Is on the MAs. Is you can see on the daily this is the 50. This green one here is the 50 MA. And you can see the battle going on is the wick through. The wick through yesterday was the push through. And you can see the 5, the orange one here, the 5 is after breaking through the 50, which is pretty substantial. So that's why I'm thinking that we might get one of these today, is we get that wick down, bounce off the 50 SMA to give ourselves that triple bottom. And then from there is price action turns and starts to head on up, yeah. Because if it keeps coming, if it doesn't reverse soon, you're gonna have the 10. You can see the 10's gone sideways a little bit, even lifted a little bit. If you have the 10 and the 20s breaking the 50 here, is that's indicating that it's gonna keep pushing down for a stronger push. So I sort of think that it's now or never, so to speak. Is this push down, bounce, and then come up. So it fits very nicely into the narrative of coming up for one more lift up to, I don't know, 50, 52, and then a turnaround and a nice drop down to 38, and then a consolidation phase, yeah. I know a lot of the Bitcoiners are thinking that Bitcoin is setting itself up for a much bigger pump. So 70, 72 could be definitely a target, yeah. And again, it would need to break. You need to see XRP break this level here, yeah, to make that a reality, yeah. So that's what I'm watching for. So now I would suggest, if you're looking for an entry, I'm going to just come down onto the 1 hour. So you can see this big drop yesterday. This lift back up is, I think, when I put the fibs on this, actually went to this one. When I put the fibs on this, from the bottom here to the top here, you can see price actions moving back up. It's quite possible that we're going to get a blow off top here now. Possibly, unless this is the top, I think we're going to get a blow off top. Might take us all the way back up to the 786. Get a blow off top here, and then we'll have the correction down. If I'm right in what I'm saying, is we get the blow off top and then the push down, yeah. So when I put this back on the daily, take these out of the way. When I put this back on the daily, you can see is price actions already back tested to the 5, yeah. It may back test to the 50 here. So if we put these back on, there we go. Look, the 786. There's the 50 there at the 786. So if you see price action, a blow off top, here is again potentially a reversal, and then we get that swing and the push down for the rest of the day. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm putting it back on the hour for a sec because partly what I'm looking at here is you can see that it didn't really give us a great entry here. If we were looking for a long entry here, is you got to look at this, and then it's coming back down. If I'd have put the fibs on this, it wouldn't have given us a 702 entry. It basically wicked to the 05, never made it to the 618. So if this is going to follow through, and what I am suggesting is it's quite possible that there's going to be a wick here and a quick retrace, and not necessarily give us this 702 correction here, because I think it might need to move pretty fast. It comes up, hits the 50, gets a whack down. Yeah. So if you're looking for a target here, is possibly put in a short at 46.08. Put your stop loss at a little bit above here, which is 46.51. Let's say 46.60. And you're wondering how much to put in, is measure your stop loss. So rather than wondering, oh, I'll put X amount in, go look what you want to risk in the stop loss. So look at how much that stop loss will cost you, and then the risk is how much you want to put in the stop loss. Then whatever that matches in your amount, put it in. And that's the way I'm doing it at the moment. So I'm actually putting a lot more in my trades now, because I'm measuring my risk on my stop loss, and I'm keeping the stop losses super tight. So that's the way I'm looking at it at the moment. Yeah. So that's it. And then the target, I'm still like a dog with a bone. I'm still looking at the target of 43.30. Yeah. Now what I've done is I've actually put my take profit at 43.35, and I have a long in at 43.30. So I've just given myself a little bit of space there. 43.30, and my long stop loss is 42.50. My long stop loss is 42.50. 42.50. And yeah, so I'm just a little. I'm going to watch it as it comes down. If it comes down, by the way, this might just turn and keep going up. This might have been the bottom, but we'll see. I'm just mindful that the bottom of this wick here is 41.94. So I haven't pulled my stop loss below the bottom here, essentially because it's going to cost too much. So I reckon I'm pretty safe at 42.50. If it came down and knocked me out, I'm happy to take that stop loss hit. It'll give me. I'll look for the reversal pattern anyway, and I'll look to jump in there anyway. So I'm preempting a little bit here, but I think I'm doing it with good reason. If it falls short, if this is it, if this is the bottom, is what I'm also watching for is a reversal pattern here. So if this is the bottom and it's not going to come lower, I do believe it'll still come down here and give me a reversal pattern, and I'll see if it's going to break it or not. If it's not, I'll look for my opportunity to go along. Yeah. So that's me staying very, very adaptable. But I do believe. Just one more thing over here is the EMA and the 12-hour crossed over yesterday. The volatility with the FOMC pulled the 20 below the 55 on the EMAs. Yeah, I'm not sure of the consequences of that with regard how much pressure it's going to apply down. If you look at price action here, and again you can see the crossings over here and it pumped, is look at all this consolidation. So for the 12-hour EMA to cross over is quite substantial. Is it can't stay there for long, or else it's going to really push down. So it's another argument for me to think that we'll get the bounce, we'll get the wick down, and this will turn and it'll help give a little bit of a pump. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. So there you go. So that's what I'm looking at. I could waffle on more, but that's it. That's we'll see how it goes now. So enjoy your trading, and I will hand you over to Nahela.
Okay, now I have an interesting thing for you guys in terms of fundamentals as well. The DXY has been coming up for the past 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this is the 6th day coming up. It broke through the midline, and generally it stops at the top. Now, the interesting thing that I want to show you was what's been happening over the past 12 hours ever since. So this was the FOMC wick when it wicked down, and then started coming back up. Which, if we're looking at what Bitcoin has been doing, and I will use this chart because this is, there we go. Now, Bitcoin has been a lot more anemic. If we're looking at XRP, we're going to see this a little bit more clearly. What I want you to see is this swing up. So this was the wick down, and this was the swing up. Bitcoin was a little bit more anemic, like it pushed down and then continued to reverse, which is generally what it does on FOMC days. And Ethereum, let's check here. This is the 4-hour. This is the 4-hour wedge. There it is, coming right up. So the point I'm trying to make is, sure, they're not matching in terms of how strong this movement is, but they're matching in direction. So the DXY is going up, and crypto is also going up, reversing after the FOMC drop, which to me is odd. I don't know why this is happening. It might be connected to, again, it might be connected to the fact that I think Roy was saying that yesterday. People again in the States, because inflation is high and because a lot of people save money in the pandemic, they might be investing it. So they might have taken the chance of a lower price yesterday, the drop, to buy back into the crypto market. Maybe that's what's happening, but it's definitely not happening on the S&P. So let me show. This is the S&P over the past, well, it's when it closed yesterday. So it closed on the down. So you can see how it looks inverted, which it should be the case, but crypto has made a recovery. Now that's an interesting thing to me. I don't know what the reasons for that are. I know that there's not a 100% correlation between the DXY and the stock market, but it's quite interesting to see what's been going on. Speaking about the stock market, as you can see, it's moving between these descending trend lines. And this is the 4-hour chart, and again, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't go all the way down to the bottom and retest here, the bottom of the Bollinger, and retest this pink line, which is the level 2 drop for the S&P. If we look at this peak, we had the M formation here, or the head and shoulders formation here, the second drop, and I think there's another drop here, which is what I expect for crypto as well. But anyways, that's just a fun fact in this sea of boredom that crypto, well, the coins have been in lately. Not all crypto. I took a screenshot of yesterday while the FOMC was happening, and what's his name? Just found it really funny and interesting. So everything was down. Bitcoin was down minus 1.5, Ethereum minus 4%, Doge minus 8. Mask was up 76%. So not all coins are doing so badly, but ours are particularly boring. And speaking of that, so here's the DXY on the 4-hour. It seems maxed out. We also have a bearish divergence on the stochastic, so not on the regular RSI, on the stochastic, which follows more immediate momentum. And based on what happened yesterday, I would take this bearish divergence very seriously, and I would be seeing this as a potential signal for a drop in the future, as in the next 4 to 8 hours. And that drop might give us a lift, which is what I expect the coins to make today, a small lift. I don't know where that lift is going to stop. I'll show you the space that they're in. That's the element of uncertainty, because we are in a sideways consolidating channel. So it's either going to stop at the top of the channel, or it's going to reverse down and break the channel downwards. So that is the big question. Now, yes. Okay, so I'm going to start with a short time frame for Bitcoin. I will start with this chart, which I've adjusted slightly to include, so this was a wedge and I turned it into a channel because I think now it makes more sense with the drop that happened yesterday. And here we are in this, and I won't take this swing into account. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we still need another touch to the top and another touch to the bottom, at least, for this channel to be complete. And I know that sounds like a lot of time. We might be in this for the Friday or the weekend, not unless. And here's where maybe something like this might happen, maybe something like this might happen, which is a nice strong impulse up. Total imbalance in the market. These impulses that happen like this, they will reverse, but it's what will get us through this structure a little bit faster. And because we've been consolidating in this in this choppy sideways for so long, it's almost a week and a half now. Well, I mean a week and 1 day. If I add the weekend, it's a week and a half. If I look at this is the whole consolidation for what should be a lift up. Long story short, I am watching to see this tiny channel now. I have a similar one for XRP. I'm looking at this tiny channel to see what this is going to do. If I am to be very technical about its target, here is the width of the channel. I'm going to put it up here. Could it only stop somewhere around here? Yes, it could. Do what it did yesterday. It was Bitcoin and Ethereum were really diabolical yesterday in terms of how they spiked the highs and the lows. I was grateful for XRP on a level because it didn't spike the high, but Bitcoin did spike the high. So could we see this channel breaking out upwards to this level and then stopping there with a triple top formation? And if we have a double top formation here, a triple top formation here, which is, again, I'm looking at this, I know it's choppy and I know it's hard to establish the levels, but I am looking at this as, go away text, as a big M formation if it stays like that. And then this would be level 1 here, and I would be very tempted to move this here. I will remove these targets because they're no longer relevant for the moment. I will remove this line. So looking at this M formation, if this little channel does not break the previous high, not only yesterday's, but this one here, this which is the 20,800, this one here, the higher one here. So if this doesn't break that higher one, then we are in triple top, double top, M formation territory. And from here, I will mark the target like this, the M, and here is where we should be coming down, the 19K level. I think the target of this channel, if it breaks out, and that will be a breakout happening like that, would be slightly lower. So it's worth leaving a little bit in for a short. So a long story short, I am watching today for a possible lift, and to see how that lift meets the peaks. I am watching my trades really carefully right now in terms of taking profits, because I was caught at the weekend in a long in XRP, and I didn't take profit because I thought it was a similar structure. I thought it was going to reach the top line here, and it didn't. And then I did take half, but you know, it was a 50% trade, and I took 20%. Wasn't really happy about that. I'm not happy when I have to take half. But that's where we are right now, and this choppiness is it's very frustrating to traders. So long story short, because I want to keep it nice and clear, I know it looks crazy. We might have a lift today / tomorrow, first half of the day tomorrow. The 4-hour stochastic has crossed up, so that's a positive sign to carry this lift up to the 20,800, which is where my target would be for that lift. If it breaks the 21,800, chances are it might go up to the top line here and do a higher high, which would be extraordinary, and then again come down and move into this structure, or maybe even break upwards and get to the 22K. But it's hard to call that at the moment. That's why I'm looking at such a small structure, which is this 1-hour channel here, because this is the one within this wedge, and this would be a 4-hour wedge, giving me some clues about what's happening. Yeah, that's it. Again, we don't have at the moment a bullish divergence between on the 1 hour between these two bottoms. On the contrary, so this came to the same level and momentum dropped, which is a signal of a drop. So oh god, okay, now I got another idea. So this is my indication. This would be my scenario for the lift. There's also a scenario for the drop. Now you see this trend line here. This trend line might break. Bitcoin tried to break this trend line twice so far, and then retraced back into it quite quickly. Here it took about 3 hours. Well, not so quickly, but if I am to slightly move it a little bit, no, but I want to keep, I want to keep the touch points there as well. Okay, so if this trend line breaks here, this could also mean breakout down to backtest the next support and resistance line, and the next support and resistance line would be somewhere around here. I wouldn't necessarily take this whole the whole width of the wedge, because as long it hasn't had all the swings necessary for this to complete. So I would be more mindful of taking profit around the 18,900, so somewhere around here, rather than wait for the 18,500. But that's, again, that's a detail. We need to see this wedge break, and for the moment it hasn't broken. I think, again, I think it's a, if we see I want to say the 1 hour, but the 1 hour looks like it's turning now. Let me see the, okay, the 15-minute is not at the top. If we have nice signals of this breaking, pushing down, and we have the 1 hour and the 15-minute stochastics in places where they could, they would have the space to spill down, I would be risking a short with a tight stop loss. So let me see what was the range here along the line. So you see the line break, and then you put your stop loss. Okay, so the range was 7%. A 10% stop loss when you see this line break, and maybe a limit order would work as well, a little bit below with a 10% stop loss. Watching it would be better because of the volatility. But yeah, I think it would be worth it if this continues to drop and do its correction, because we have had the swing that hasn't yet done its correction. What happened yesterday was a higher low, so we might get that. But I would say, because of this descending channel, and this descending channel is complete in my opinion, and it would have, I know it doesn't have, like normally I don't count, I don't count the swing that enters the channel, so it's like 1, 2, oh no, it is complete like that as well. Yeah, and also because of the choppiness, I have a hard time placing the lines, because there's, if I just pull it down slightly, there will be swings. Anyways, I think this channel should be complete and it should be breaking up. That's how I see it. And I don't take this as a breakout, because it came back in and it's followed this line. So that's it. That's it on the shorter time frames. On the bigger time frames, I really don't. I don't like the way the indicators are looking on the one day. The stochastic is pushing down, the MACD is pushing down, and we are below that that validation line of the W. So technically now, if we close below, if we close today below that line, this was just a back test to here, and now it's going to come down here. So this would be how I would read this in the bigger picture. We have to wait to see today closing, and if this closes below this validation line, I anticipate more downwards movement. I will be looking at this as a new space, this space to trade between, rather than this as a consolidation for the upwards. Because if this closes below and tomorrow again continues below and closes below, then this W is invalidated. I know I'm saying a lot, but the space that we're in allows for these two possibilities, very, like, both of them are equally backed up. So if this space, if this would be the space that we're trading in, and again would be looking for the 18,700 to break, and in this way this would be a giant head and shoulder formation, and it would be a bit of history repeating with the swing here. Touched the divergence line, came down to the next level, touched the divergence line, came down to the next level here, or the 10K, or even a little bit lower if there is a there's support here around 6,000, or here around 7,500. Anyways, that's a longer time frame. The point I was trying to make was, it's not looking as bullish and as healthy as it was looking yesterday. We've lost the support of the validation line of the W, and I would be looking for an entry for a swing down. I'm waiting for the swing up to complete on XRP to take a short position. I had an excellent short position yesterday, and I was I was knocked out here at my stop loss was 46.4. It was so frustrating yesterday. 46.4, and it came up to 46.51. So less than a cent. That little. But that's how FOMC days, and my long entry didn't happen because I had it up here and it didn't spike that. So that was it. Anyways, that's where Bitcoin is. We have to check to see what it does today, and in tonight's session I'll set up the levels for the weekend. And depending on where we are today, if we do break above this line and close today above this line, then it's looking like it could continue upwards. If we close today below this validation line, I think we'll continue downwards. And by downwards, I mean down to the 18,700/800, and there the decision will be made if this is going to break or not. Okay. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Again, Ethereum followed the levels to a T yesterday. There were two fake outs in yesterday's FOMC meeting. I'll switch to the 15-minute, and those were those fake outs were the ones that really got me confused. I have only the past 3 months have I been starting mapping out the FOMCs, because I think they're great trading opportunities. Wherever there's volatility, they're great trades to be made. I'm happy that for instance, last month was a profitable one because I jumped in and out. This month I wanted to be a little bit more technical, and it didn't pay off. I had to pay a 6% loss for that, but still, I'm not trapped in a trade, which is a win. Anyways, Ethereum had two fake outs. The first fake out was to the bottom. Normally what happens on FOMC days is the day will go in one direction, which was up yesterday, and then the FOMC will do a snap in the opposite direction of their real intention. So for instance, yesterday, what I was expecting was the FOMC to initially do a spike up, and that would be the top out of the previous direction, not breaking the previous high, and then moving down, because this is what I've seen happen on two different occasions. And again, I thought that's it. So the first move of the FOMC is against their real intention, and it is in line with the trend of the day so far. And the trend of the day so far was up, and it was great. It was moving up, and I expected a spike up and then a turn down. What happened was this went up, the FOMC pushed down, initially correcting this swing, which was great. I thought, okay, so they're correcting the swing and now they're going to go up. They went up, they broke the previous high and the one before, but didn't continue upwards, and they reversed. So the first spike down was the fake out for the lift, and then the lift was the fake out for the drop. Really, really odd. Again, I don't know if there's getting any more odd than this. I'm gonna think of a strategy for next month's FOMC for us to be able to take advantage of this move. Besides, of course, jumping in and out of trades, which I don't. How can I say? I don't promote as a trader, and I avoid unless I have really good, clear trend lines that they're hitting. I wouldn't do it because it's a risky thing to do. So that's what happened yesterday with Ethereum. But if we look at the bigger picture, here it is, Ethereum hitting this line. It didn't go all the way up to here, which we all sort of like expected, 1670, 1650. It didn't do that. it did do a higher high compared to the previous ones, and then it found support here, and happy days, it reversed. And I hope you took advantage of this reversal, because it was a clear technical reversal here with a double bottom and actually a triple bottom here. It offered two very nice entries, especially for the Asian session. I hope JD got into a long. It looks like right now it's consolidating a 1, 2, 3, 4 for a lift. Now, Ethereum is in if I'm to put on the 1 hour, if I'm to put on the 1 hour, besides my horizontal lines, which again, for Ethereum, the horizontal lines work better than the vertical lines in my experience. It loves to go up in those levels. Breakouts vertically do happen at times, but it's the horizontal lines that are more dominant. Okay, so this is the channel. This is the channel that we're in on the 1 hour time frame. Let me find the best. There we go. Okay. Do we have all the swings? I won't take this into account. One swing down, one swing up, one swing down, one swing up, one swing down. So we have, I'll take this one. 1, 2, 3 touches to the top, to the bottom. 1, 2, 3 touches to the top. So again, am I expecting a lift? Yes, I think so. I think this will liquidate. That sounds very adversarial. This will liquidate everybody that started shorting yesterday. So if you shorted yesterday in the FOMC and you didn't take your profit, here it is. Your profit is taken away from you in this situation. And here is a higher high, but a double top situation if it is to break out here. So this would be, in my opinion, the most liquidity collecting move that the market could make right now. A lift, collect the liquidity, not break the previous highs, same as with Bitcoins. So go up to here, but not break the previous highs, make a triple top formation and situation, and then come down. So they're both very likely to do that. That would be my first option. If this doesn't happen today, so if we don't see what I expect today, by the time we have our session in the evening, it will be quite easy to tell if this is going to play out, because by the time we have the session in the evening, we are going to meet this line one way or another. So we'll be able to see if this line is broken or not. So after this top happens, then I suggest taking profit here. You can take a small position short here, because again, maybe the market does want to shoot up and go to a 22.5 K Bitcoin, or a 1700 or 1800 dollar Ethereum. Maybe this is the plan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be it. But in my opinion, this is gonna come down for its correction, because again, we still haven't seen a correction of this swing, and this is a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I am to put a fib on it, I don't leave my fibs on the charts because I find them very cluttering. This is not even a 0.5 correction, and it's a big swing. It's a 40% swing that hasn't even had a 0.5 correction. So I believe that this will be a double top situation here, collecting some liquidity here for all the all the traders that shorted here. And then we're going to come down for the golden pocket, or the 702, or even the 786. The 786 is 1270, which is a very popular level for Ethereum to bounce off. off and that's it, and that would be my target. It could only stop here at the golden pocket, and not break this swing. For this to be still a 3, it shouldn't break this level here, and again that might be it. So we could stop here at the golden pocket. 1350, 1370 is again a great historic level for Ethereum. That's it. I anticipate, because of the space that was opened yesterday with the swing up and down, not the space that was open, but the space that was, how can I say, it added some swings in the structures. I anticipate something to happen today, and then we're going to see the reversal tomorrow, and then we haven't had a Friday closing on the down with a sell-off weekend in weeks. I believe this is what's coming for the weekend. But tonight I'm gonna set up tonight we're gonna see if our short time frame channels are gonna break. I don't think when New York opens we're gonna be in this tight small range. Like we've been here for 6 hours, moving between moving in a range of 1.3%. It's horrible. So I think again this will change. It's gonna do a spike up or a lift up and continue out of this channel. This channel has to go somewhere, and generally it meets the technical target and goes a little bit above it, but again not breaking this high. It might break this high and then reverse doing a higher high. That could happen as well. We need to be patient here at the top formation. And I still, even if I'm risking a couple of 6%, 7%, I still wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't miss it. That's what I want to say. I wouldn't miss it. I'd rather have that stop loss in than not, because I have seen what Ethereum can do. If it decides to go on higher, it literally can do another 20% over the weekend and keep going. Okay, so long story short, for Ethereum, in the same manner as for Bitcoin, we are in a descending channel on the 1 hour. I expect us to break upwards and do a double top for Ethereum, triple top situation for Bitcoin, and from there both of them should come down for their correction. This is what I've been waiting both of them to do this week. Another higher high, another top to compete with this here. This might have been it for Bitcoin, but just the volatility yesterday makes me doubt that, because it's not something that the channel has been consolidating for. This is what the channel has been consolidating for. So we might see a bit of a bigger target here, but I'd still take the money where the target is. Okay, that's it from me. Have a great day trading. Good luck. Now we have structures to follow for both Ethereum and Bitcoin. When this channel breaks out, the target, if you're not in a trade now and you're waiting for the breakout, is 5% for Ethereum, which is a nice target. Even if you leave 30% on the table, you're still getting 30%. For Bitcoin, it's a miserable 2%. So it's still worth following, especially if you started longing here, or started longing here on this trend line, or even started longing here at this double bottom that we seem to have established between Sydney. I want to say between Asia and New York and London, but it's only in the London session. So if you started longing here at this double bottom structure, that's also okay, but it's not a big trade. You could also wait for this to top out, offer you another top around here, and then follow it down. So you could also wait for that in terms of possible trades. The daily is not looking great for Bitcoin. At the daily, I can't, like, I'm trying to avoid being very bearish there, because we are above the 20 EMA, but we are also below this structure here, and we might just see a wick above this line as a way of backtesting it and then continuing downwards. I don't like what's happening here at all. That's it from me. Good luck today, and I'll see you tonight. And if I don't see you tonight, I'll be recording it and posting it later.